Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're an e-commerce seller or an SMB importer, you already know that moving goods across the globe is frankly the absolute lifeblood of your business. I mean, it's the engine that drives your revenue. But today, we're going to fundamentally shift how you evaluate China to USA freight forwarders. We are moving way beyond just comparing upfront pricing, and instead, we're going to focus on the critical operational support systems that actually dictate the success and the profitability of your entire supply chain.
So let's start off by challenging a huge trap that so many e-commerce sellers fall right into. Ask yourself, are you only shopping for the lowest shipping quotes? Now, it's incredibly tempting, right? When you're constantly managing super tight margins, shaving a few $100 off a freight quote feels like a massive win. But focusing entirely on that top-line number, well, that's a strategy that often backfires spectacularly when you realize what you actually gave up just to get that cheap price.
Because selecting the absolute cheapest option is kind of like hitting an iceberg. It will completely destroy the profit margins you were trying to protect in the first place. You end up getting hit with heavy hidden costs, those unexpected fees that mysteriously appear once your cargo is already out on the water. You face crippling delays, and worst of all, there's absolutely zero delay recovery plan from your forwarder. Basically, no one is picking up the phone, and in the absolute worst-case scenarios, you could even fall victim to international freight fraud, where scammers lure you in with bottom-barrel prices only to hold your inventory hostage later. The cheap quote is almost never the final price.
To evaluate logistics providers the right way, we're going to use a brand new checklist broken down into 5 core pillars. Number 1, beyond the price tag. Number 2, the need for live tracking. 3, navigating customs and DDP. 4, mastering Amazon FBA logistics. And 5, qualities of leading forwarders.
Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, Beyond the Price Tag, and how we can redefine logistics value.
There is a massive paradigm shift happening between two types of importers in today's market. On one hand, you have the price shopper. They focus solely on the cheapest upfront quote, which leaves their business entirely exposed to all those hidden fees, the extended transit times, and those gray market scams we just talked about. But conversely, you have the value shopper. These guys focus heavily on operational support. They partner with real logistics experts who offer proactive delay recovery workflows and who prioritize long-term margin protection over saving short-term pennies. You absolutely want to be the value shopper, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who can actually scale.
Being a price shopper is incredibly dangerous because freight is just one piece of your total landed cost. Take a look at how this breaks down. The freight quote itself is only a fraction of your expenses. It's maybe 20% of the total pie. The rest is your product manufacturing, your customs and duties, and your FBA or warehousing fees. If a cheap forwarder messes up your paperwork, that 15% customs slice totally explodes with unexpected fines and terminal holding fees, which completely wipes out the few bucks you initially saved on the actual freight. You've got to look at the whole picture to protect your bottom line.
Which brings us to Section 2, the need for live tracking. Because in this business, visibility is profit.
Where is my inventory? Honestly, it is easily the most expensive and stress-inducing question in e-commerce. If you're constantly refreshing your inbox, checking outdated spreadsheets, or panic dialing your forwarder just to track down a crucial shipment, you are bleeding valuable time. And every unaccounted day is a day you can't accurately forecast your Q4 sales, you can't launch new marketing campaigns, and you can't promise delivery to your end customers. Having blind spots in your supply chain is quite literally costing you money.
This is exactly why your forwarder absolutely must provide real-time technological visibility. And look, live tracking isn't just about watching a digital dot slowly move across a map of the ocean. It provides the raw operational data you need to trigger proactive delay recovery. Think about it. If a vessel gets stuck waiting at the port of Los Angeles, live tracking alerts you instantly. That crucial heads-up is a game-changer. It allows you to pivot your inventory strategy, manage your customers' expectations, and adjust your ad spend without skipping a beat. Visibility gives you the power to actually manage your supply chain rather than just reacting to it.
All right, moving into Section 3, navigating customs and DDP, where we'll see why compliance is totally key.
So, compliance all starts with your HTS code. That's the Harmonized Tariff Schedule. Basically, it tells U.S. Customs exactly what you're bringing into the country and dictates your required taxes.
A high-quality logistics partner doesn't just blindly ask for your code, they actively help you audit it. Why? Because if you classify a synthetic blend shirt as 100% cotton by mistake just to save a little bit on duties, you aren't just looking at minor holdups, you're looking at severe financial penalties, really intense audits, and potentially even having your cargo seized.
Let's break down these shipping Incoterms because they define exactly who is responsible for what. Under FOB, or free on board, you maintain a lot of control once the goods are securely on the ship. Then there's CIF, cost, insurance, and freight. Now that might seem easier since your Chinese supplier handles the ocean transit, but beware, it is deeply notorious for surprise destination charges that get slapped onto your bill upon USA arrival. And then of course there's DDP, which shifts all the responsibility and the transit management directly over to the seller or the forwarder.
Now, while DDP, delivered duty paid, sounds incredibly convenient because the quoted price supposedly covers everything right to your warehouse door, it actually carries massive risks that you really need to be aware of. If your forwarder lacks deep expertise in USA regulations, they might intentionally misclassify your goods just to save themselves money on the back end. And here is the truly terrifying part. You are the importer of record. You are the one who is legally liable for that customs fraud, not them. So DDP requires an expert, heavily vetted partner to ensure total, bulletproof compliance.
Next up is Section 4, Mastering Amazon FBA Logistics, where precision truly matters.
The life cycle of an Amazon FBA shipment requires an immense amount of precision. It usually starts with strategic supplier consolidation, whether you're shipping LCL, less than container load, or FCL, full container load. Consolidating goods from multiple factories can literally save you a fortune. From there, it moves through origin customs, ocean freight, destination customs, and finally securing that incredibly strict FBA delivery appointment. Every single one of these steps must be executed flawlessly to keep your seller metrics perfectly intact.
And let me be clear, generic shipping simply fails for Amazon FBA. Amazon is notoriously strict. They require exact pallet dimensions, flawless barcoding, highly specific box weights, and incredibly rigid delivery appointment windows. If your forwarder doesn't specialize specifically in FBA logistics, your truck could show up, be completely rejected at the warehouse store, and force you to pay for return transit along with deeply expensive third-party storage fees while you frantically try to fix their mistake. A specialized forwarder prevents these absolute nightmares from ever happening.
Let's wrap things up with Section 5, Qualities of Leading Forwarders. This is your new evaluator's checklist. When you're vetting a new partner, this is what you should be looking for. First, you need a dedicated account manager who actually knows your business, not some generic support inbox that takes 3 days to reply. You need seamless supplier consolidation to save money on multi-factory orders. You require flawless customs brokerage to ensure compliance, proactive delay protocols to handle any inevitable port congestion, and 100% transparent pricing from day one. This checklist is exactly how you guarantee a return on your logistics investment and build a resilient supply chain.
Behind every late delivery is a communication breakdown. That's so true, isn't it? Having a single, responsive point of contact is your ultimate competitive advantage in the e-commerce world. When global shipping inevitably goes wrong, and it will, whether it's a typhoon, a port strike, or a random customs exam, a dedicated account manager steps in and fixes the issue behind the scenes. They implement recovery workflows before your end customer ever even notices there was a hiccup. That level of support is just invaluable.
So I want you to take a hard look at your current supply chain and ask yourself this final vital question. Is your forwarder actively protecting your margins, or are they just moving boxes? It's time to demand better support. Stop letting hidden costs eat your hard-earned profits and partner with the team that actually empowers you to scale. If you optimize for value, visibility, and reliability, your business is absolutely going to thrive. Thanks for tuning into this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.